Hi there fans, it's Mag and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a DC Comics superhero Lego set review. This is from the Batman series called the RIddler Chase. It's set number 76012. It contains 304 pieces. Retails in the US for $29.99. You get 3 minifigures with some weaponry and an accessory. That would be the banana. You have 2 vehicles, the Riddler's Dragster as well as a different version of the Batmobile. It has a detachable cockpit, some hidden flick missiles. There are some money bags in the back of the Dragster as well as a detachable bomb. Let's look at our superheroes and our villain a little bit closer. I've removed all of the headgear for all of the minifigures, as well as their weaponry and Batman's cape. Now, in the case of Batman, this is a brand new suit never seen before in the Batman series. They all have very detailed, and I think very good, torso printing. You see the yellow utility belt on Batman with the darkened bat crest on the front of his torso. You have Flash's yellow lightning bolt that goes around his waist as well as his crest, and the detail on the Riddler is outstanding with that green leather type jacket with the zippers and all the question marks that are on his torso and the different colored legs. He even has different colored arms. The purple hands just kind of suit the whole getup. In the case of the Flash and Batman, well, their hands just kind of match their overall suit color. Now, the face printing on the Riddler, I like it. It has the purple diamond-shaped mask as well as his grin because he's always laughing. The Riddler's hat I like with the purple question mark, the old-style hat. Now, the Flash's headgear is pretty neat, and it fits right over the eyes printed on his head, so you'd be able to see through the eye hole cutouts in his headgear. But you'll notice he's got a red head. It's not all flesh skin, and that's because when he's wearing his suit, it totally engulfs his head, and all you see is the front face part. So I'm glad that there wasn't a mistake made there to show off more flesh than what he actually has. Of course, with his headgear off, it does look a little different. And now we come to Batman's head. It looks like he's wearing some sort of headband to catch the sweat or something. But no, actually, when he's wearing his headgear, that white strip that goes across his forehead is actually what the eye holes display, because his bat mask actually covers his printed eyes on the front of his face. Here's just a shot of the back and the alternate faces that come on these minifigures. The Riddler doesn't have an alternate face, but the scarf does carry around to the back as well as the question marks. I do like the printing on the back of the torso for him, and you could see some of the muscle outlines on the Flash, and of course his lightning bolt, and the utility belt on Batman also carries around all the way to the back. Our superhero's Batmobile does have some really good detail in the front with the ramming devices, the point right here in the center, as well as these sloped bricks, both on the bottom and on the top, the inverted 1x2 angled brick, and then these cheese wedge style bricks just to make the points in the front. I like how they really hug the tires in the front. If I just turn to the side, you can see how close these tires are to the front, and I really like that design. I think it's really catching. I do like the way that they had tucked it in there, and it's just very low and sleek and fast looking. Now, it's not the Tumbler, but it's also not the 1960s version of the Bat car either. I do like the detail right in the center, just under the cockpit between the wheels. It tidies it up nicely. And of course you have the same size wheels in the front as in the back, and the sloped angle to this spoiler section with these aerodynamic fins up on top. It just makes the whole car look fast and really slick. Just a shot from the back side. You can just see the angle down towards the front and the way this spoiler just kind of brings this whole rear section of the car together. And you have a couple exhaust pipes here that to shoot flames or what have you. You got your big brake lights, if you wanted to call them that. I just really like the way that this Batmobile has been put together. Now, this sticking out here, there's actually a couple hidden flick missiles, and this is the release to those flick missiles, and I'll show that to you in just a moment. But I just want to take it all in. I really like the way the angle of this car really looks from the backside. During building it, I fell in love with it. After building it, I just can't stop staring at it. It's one of my favorite Lego pieces to look at, despite all of the Legos that I have. Now, the tumbler is cool, especially the Ultimate Collection version that was released. But for people that are not able to spend that much money, but they want to have a cool Batman car, this would be the set to get. Now, here's a shot from the alternate side, and I'll show you how these flick missiles work. This whole spoiler section just flips right up. And you can see, if I angle this towards the camera, there's two blue studs in there which resemble the flick missiles, and I'll just shoot them out. I do like how this spoiler just kind of folds down and tucks right behind the cockpit. It's a couple Technic pieces in the back. If I lift this all the way up, we'll just get right in there to take a close look at it. You can see these Technic angled pieces right here in the corner, and that's how it's just pivoting up and down. Now, the cockpit cover is really not attached to anything. It's just kind of sitting on the car, but it stays in place really well. If I detach it, it just comes right off. And really, these 4 bricks right here in the front are the only thing holding it in place. As you can see, these are all flush bricks. There's no posts anywhere. It just sits right on top. There's not even something on the back side that catches up here on the ledge, because if you do that, then you won't be able to open up the back and get the flick missiles out. So it's a really neat design the way they did that. We do have this steering wheel that does rotate up and down, and it does have to slightly rotate down because of the angle of the cockpit. It's so sleek and angled that it can't be perpendicular just like that, because you won't actually get the cockpit cover in it. Now, Batman fits in here nicely. He is wearing his cape now, so it does make things a little bit more difficult, but he will fit. You just have to bring his arms up slightly because of the side rails, and he'll just slide right there, and you could actually lean him backwards, and then this will come down to meet Batman, and then this just sits right on top like that. Now, the Riddler's Dragster, even though it's not as bulky as the Batmobile, in and of itself, it's really cool. I really like the way that they have the small little wheels and the huge wheels in the back to make it a dragster. And you have the flames coming out the side right in front of the wheels. And, of course, you have the exposed engine parts. You have the air intake way up here. And these side panels, or pistons, I guess if you wanted to call them, right, they rotate up and down, so you can place them in different angles on both sides if you wanted to. Then you have this little circle piece in the front that does spin freely. Now, there's only 4 studs for the cockpit for him to sit. That would be the Riddler. And there's enough room there for him to sit. Now, if he is holding his crowbar, then you would have to have the hand slightly raised, because obviously he wouldn't fit too good with the crowbar. But the set does come with a banana, and the object of the banana is for the Joker to toss it out the side and leave it as a potential hazard for the Flash if the Flash is running after him. Now, the spoiler in the back of the Dragster can be repositioned. It can go side to side. It can go up and down, because there is a Technic piece there, or it could even rotate left or right. Now, in the back of the Dragster, we have 2 money bags, and it comes with 4 pieces of cash that you can put, 2 in each money bag. Now, when I first started putting this together, I wasn't sure what that black ball was down towards the bottom. If you're familiar with drag racing, sometimes they have a stopper in the back, because if you take off too fast, obviously the front of the car will jerk straight up in the air because there's so much torque coming off the back wheels that you run the risk of it just going right over the backside like a backward somersault. So I figured, hey, that was there to stop the car from, jerking up and just going backwards. But as I looked online and dug into this a little bit more, because this actually was our first DC comic Lego set, I'm familiar with all of the characters, but the Riddler's car, not so much. and it's actually a detachable bomb, sort of like a James Bond 007 type deal, where you're driving along and this can just come right off, and you could leave it in the roadway for Batman to drive over and maybe explode under the Batmobile. Thank you for joining us today to go over this review of the Batman series, The Riddler Chase. I hope you can appreciate the detail, and I've done a good enough job of pointing it out for you, and that you'll come back to watch some more videos. Please click that like button if you did enjoy it. Feel free to comment, and we would like you to subscribe. We hope you'll visit again. Talk to you soon.